Pod is a 2023 film that I completely randomly found on Tubi, and it's streaming currently, and it's very new. It just came out in the last 2 months at least. Maybe before that with festivals, but was just put on Tubi and widely released after that. It's a very micro budget film. It's clearly made by either students or people that are very young and starting out in the industry kind of thing. And it's a sci-fi film, and that interested me because low-budget sci-fi films are very hard to do, to the point where when they're done well, they can be pretty incredible actually because of the budget and everything holding it back. But usually they're just not done well because the budget just isn't there. And when you're dealing with sci-fi elements, you need to kind of usually have a bigger budget to make it seem realistic. So it's a finicky thing when it comes to low budget sci-fi films. But I watched the trailer and it looked great. Like it looked very promising and it looked like something that would be very inspiring for young filmmakers and beginner filmmakers kind of thing, as inspiration that you can do something even though you don't have millions of dollars to do it. And everything looked great on it, so I decided to give it a shot. And throughout the majority of the film, I have to say I was extremely impressed with what these people were able to do with the budget they had and create an engaging story with what they were going for. Now, some of the writing and some of the plot developments and stuff like that can be confusing. I found a lot of the terminology and things that are being said aren't very explained that well. There's a lot of moments in the film that kind of kept me questioning and having to look things up and backtrack and kind of stuff like that. So it's not, it can be convoluted at times. But I have to give this film the biggest praise in its set, again, for the budget and what they were able to design with the budget that they had. Plot wise, you basically have this guy and this girl. They're in this escape pod from a spaceship that happened to blow up, and the guy doesn't have much of a memory left. He kind of just wakes up and he's with this girl who says that she found him and rescued him and sent the escape pod off into space, and they're waiting on a rescue mission from NASA, and they're light years away from Earth. And obviously this is in the future. And this guy's just trying to figure out what the hell happened while they're waiting for NASA, and there's this plague kind of virus that infects a third person on this escape pod who's like underneath the escape pod. The escape pod's really big for an escape pod. What I was thinking was like a buried situation with Ryan Reynolds, where I thought it was one person. I didn't think it was actually two people in the pod, or three in this case, before I watched the trailer. But this pod is basically like a ship in itself, a smaller one, but like there's a double floor to it, and it's pretty spacious. I mean, for an escape pod, it's pretty spacious. But he's just trying to figure out what happened, and they're dealing with this guy who's infected, and he's like puking up green stuff, and the gross out stuff is cool, and like I said, what they were able to use as props and makeup and stage effects kind of thing was really, really good. And I mean, this film was gonna be a 4, but for me, unfortunately, it went from a 4 to a 2.5 because I just couldn't with the ending and the reveals, and they didn't work for me. They just didn't work on any level for me. You change that ending, and this film would be so great and such a praise from me, and it still is for what it does deliver well, which is a phenomenal project. If it's a first project, it's through the roof well done. But that ending, man, it just didn't work for me, and that's a me thing. It could work for somebody else. I get what the director was going for behind it. He wanted to deliver like a message, and the message was delivered clearly. Like I said, I know what they're going for. It's kind of like it takes like a what's the meaning of life direction essentially. But the way it was executed, I didn't like at all. I did not like the twist. I did not care for where it went, and it was just eye rolling to me personally. So unfortunately, that's what took this film down the most, and landed me right in the middle at a 2.5, because what I loved, and what I didn't like just didn't work for me personally so much. But I can't praise this film enough for the project that it is, and how well done it is with being a micro budget film. And it's an independent project, I'm pretty sure, as well, and everybody's good in it. Like there's no cringy acting or anything like that. It's not Hollywood level. It's not Oscar winning, but it's well done, and they put their heart and soul into it. And I've seen films at this caliber that are just beyond cheesy, and the acting you just can't get behind. This one, actually, they take themselves seriously and do a pretty damn good job with it. So if you want to check it out for yourself, it's free on Tubi, and it's definitely one of those films that are very inspiring to filmmakers to demonstrate, kind of thing, that you can do it with with a good script and good preparation and good people behind your project. You can make something happen, and this is a good example of it. So that's Escape Pod from 2023. Like I said, it's brand new on Letterboxd. I think I was like the fifth to review it or something like that, or give it a rating. So not a lot of people have checked it out yet, but I'm letting you guys know that you can check it out for free, and go see it for yourself if you like independent cinema, and if you like sci-fi movies. So it's cool enough, except for, in my opinion, the ending. Not so much, but everything else is really, really good. So again, for what it is. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.